Hey, Bob here, KM6IKH. I'm in the middle of programming about 18 radios, and this is like about my 9th one in a row. I just want to show you guys something, how absolutely consistent these radios are. Not the radio, sorry, the hotspot. Sorry, it's going on midnight. So show you how consistent the hotspots are. They're dead on consistent. And here we go. This is one just ready to do the final programming for a customer. Bobby here, KM6IKH, testing 1, testing 2, testing 3, testing 1, 2, 3. And this is the last of a battery of tests before we put programming in.
Bobby here, KM6IKH, testing 1, testing 2, testing 3, testing 1, 2, 3.
Nice, consistent. Okay, here's the magic stuff. Here we go. Zero loss, zero burr rate, zero loss, zero burr rate. Had a whole whopping 0.1% on my send signal. Sensationally acceptable. Do it one more time. And this is like my 9th machine in a row. Every single one, it's exactly the same. The consistency of these units is absolutely amazing. KM6IKH, testing 1, testing 2, testing 3, testing 1, 2, 3. It's not an illusion. This is just the reality of how consistent these machines are.
KM6IKH, testing 1, testing 2, testing 3, testing 1, 2, 3.
And there we go, zero loss. See the little arrow on my pointer? Zero burr rate at 0.02. Fine. Well within acceptable standards. And again, this is the absolute rock solid consistency of a NEX-GEN hotspot. So you've got to remember, folks, if you're having issues, send receive issues, number one, you should have your frequency as close to 433 as possible, because that is the sweet spot of these hotspots. That's where I always test them, and that's where they always test perfect. And make sure you have a good solid internet connection. Also, extraordinarily important to have that solid internet connection, good cable, good wiring, all checked. If you're into electronics and you're a techie, do resistance check yourself. If not, like most of the population, call your cable company and have them come out and check the run of cable from the telephone pole or the underground cable, depending upon where you live, right to the actual back of your modem. I can't stress the importance of that, because most of the times when people are having issues and they're not easily being resolved and there's nothing else technically between you and a clear signal, it's the cable, it's the coax. It wears out. People don't realize that. I'm just emphasizing it. Might be beating it into the ground a little bit, but it's something that most people never think about. They'll say things like, oh, everything's working fine on my internet. My computer's working okay. Okay, maybe it is working okay. You're passing a different type of signal. There's many different levels of TX and RX. And the TX and RX for the radio, it's similar in most ways, different in some others. And it may just not pass a radio signal as good as when you're browsing on the internet. Technically speaking, it should be about the same, but not necessarily so. And proof is in the pudding. When I get calls from time to time where they have people having radio issues, I recommend they call their cable company and have their cable restrung or have it checked. Lo and behold, magic. The cable company comes out. They find the problem. There's a resistance somewhere. The ohm value is not correctly in the coax cable any longer. More times than not, the customer tells me they've restrung the cable from the sidewalk or telephone pole, depending upon where you live, to the back of the modem. Bing, gada bang, gada boom. Bob's your uncle. Everything's working perfect. So That's almost every time I run into issues I cannot easily troubleshoot. It's the cable. Now, on a cell phone, you have to have 4 or 5 bars. Well, you should have 4 or 5 bars. I did a video the other day. I was getting a signal through on 2 bars. It's not the best way to roll. You really want to have 4 or 5 bars. So anyways, we're going to let this go for the evening. Bobby, KM6IKH. Just wanted to talk a little bit about, well, 2 things. A was coax cable going to the back of your modem out to the sidewalk or street, depending upon how that's set up at your QTH. And just a little retouch on the cell phones. KM6IKH 73, over and out.